Hello, Jen Gilchrist here. I'm excited to be going live with all of you for the September energy reading. So, this is where I like to, at the beginning of the month, go through a week by week breakdown of what we can expect. This really just lays those energetic tracks to be able to align and really work with the energy in the best possible way to align with your personal highest path and good. So, I will be going through the week by week. Say hello as you're joining, whether you're live or replay. I may actually open up Facebook in a second window so that I can see, because I know that a lot of you in my group will be there. So, all right, perfect. Now I can see comments there as well. Okay, so say hello, whether you're live or replay. I'd love to see who's here. And as I just tuned into the energy, I like to clairvoyantly just, close my eyes, tune in, and look at the energy of the month. And the message that was coming through to begin with, before we even start pulling the cards, was like there was this beautiful blue energy, and it was representative of this level of clarity. Like I feel like by through September, it feels like it's creating the space for clarity, perhaps clarity of communication with others could be a thing, clarity of your next steps, clarity of action. And it feels like it's the beginning of building up some momentum to be able to move forward, perhaps on some things that maybe you weren't quite sure about, or maybe there was just a little bit of a misalignment around. And so that was exciting to look at that energy. Now, then it reminded me, or what came to mind is that we are going into retrograde. So make sure that you utilize the time, the September 9th through October 2nd is Mercury in retrograde, which always gives you that opportunity to reflect, to realign, to reassess. And it feels like if you take the time and space to sink into that energy, it is going to allow you to be able to be in alignment, to be able to take action forward on some projects and some ideas and things that you have been wanting to create for yourself. Hello, Maria, Shonda, Stephanie. Good to see you all here. All right, so let's dive in and see what the Oracle cards have to say. It's always fun to tune in and pull some energy, some cards from the decks as well. So this is the Gateway deck. Actually, not sure where this one is. I forget who this one is by. It's been a little while. It's interesting. I pulled cards. So this is actually by Denise Lynn as well. I know people sometimes like to ask that. This first week, we're going to pull cards because it's sort of the end of the week right now, Friday. We'll pull these will be from September 1st through 11th. So we will see what's going on there. Let's see. What can we expect to help us align with this coming month's energy? Oh, I love this. So this is perfect. It kind of goes on the heels of what we were talking about, cultivating prosperity. So the energy of cultivating prosperity, it says the abundance of the universe is pouring into my life. That's actually a beautiful affirmation that you can think about this month if you wanted to. But it's basically what I was saying. The energy that I was seeing was kind of like the building of the very beginning of this ocean wave that was going to create the space to be in motion. And just is kind of similar, right? It's that seeding process. It's the beginning stages of that creation, of that cultivation of what it is you're desiring. And it feels like, the message basically is open up to receive, right? Allow yourself the space to receive. And so that's another opportunity when we are really aligning with the universal energies, being that there is a retrograde this month. Part of that is leaning into our feminine energy, male or female bodies. We all have both energies, but the feminine is about leaning back into that rest, that retreat, creating time for meditation and journaling, which I always recommend, but I think is even more important. And that actually opens up your receptivity channels as well. So it feels like you're, in this opportunity of reaping the rewards of some things that you have been wanting. And for some of you, it also feels like maybe you're going to get ideas that will begin to cultivate this, more of a clarity or an alignment to ideas that can cultivate more prosperity as well. Soaring into joy. Childlike wonder fills my life. I love this. Right? Having fun. And so creating that time and space for fun, for balance, for joy. Joy is one of the highest vibrations, right? It's a vibration that generates miracles, right? It generates that seeds our environment of our energy to be a match for that which we're calling in. And so these two energies really work together. I'm also hearing, creating a gratitude list, things like that can also be a quick mood shift and mindset change to be in that vibration that's receptive to receiving, but also generating that feeling of gratitude and joy, seeds that abundance, right? It attracts more abundance into your life. And this other card says, looking deeper, look deep within its majestic radiance. And so, this is really right when the retrograde kicks off is on the 9th. And if there's that shadow period, I'm not an astrologer, but I follow it enough that we're already, I think, somewhat in the shadow energy, right? Definitely this week is. And so make the time, reflect. If something is not feeling aligned, if something is not bringing joy, right? What is it that you can do to shift and bring more joy, more balance, more gratitude, and really cultivating that? And it feels like, spending some time like on as terms of next step, spending that time with cultivating that money might not, well, it could be money mindset, right? Because I'm thinking prosperity, but just cultivating a receptive, abundant mindset, right? That's really powerful. I'm going to pull one more card just because that's a little bit of a long week. We also have I believe the full moon is actually on, what day is it? I wrote it down here. Full moon is on the 10th of September, which falls at this week as well. And so it says unbound. Oh, I love it. I just felt the call to pull one more, and it's right at the end of the week is that full moon. And it says unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So take the time, right? Spend the time with your mindset, your morning routines, generating that prosperity mindset, and then also, digging in, looking deeper. If something's not aligned, if you're not feeling joy, what can I do to be in alignment to bring more joy? What can I do to be in alignment to receive more prosperity? What is going on in this relationship? Because communication and relationships can also come up during the retrogrades, to reevaluate our patterns and agreements, what needs to be brought into the present. So keep in mind for that. And it feels like it creates this prosperous opening that will begin to allow more forward movement and action towards your goals. So let's look at the next week, the 12th through the 18th. And let me know how it's resonating as we go along. I always like to see that. And this is a fun thing to come back to throughout the month, of course. This replay will be here. Okay, and I actually have 3 brand new decks. I just went to Australia for part pleasure and part business retreat. I was at a mindset and a business retreat with Denise Duffield Thomas. If you've heard of her, she has a called the Rose Farm in Australia, and it was really powerful. And when I went there was this beautiful little metaphysical store that had all these new oracle decks that I hadn't really gotten or seen yet. And so I'll have a few of those I'll share with you as well. So this first one is, again, by the Gateway deck by Denise Linn, and it says exceeding expectations. So if we do this cultivation of our prosperity mindset, if we stay in gratitude, if we bring our vibration to joy, and we look deeper and do that work about what's in our way, you're going to exceed your expectations. It feels like just keep holding your eye on that prize. Like, what is it that you're creating and cultivating right now? Because this feels like you're going to even surpass. It's like maybe even have miracles that feel more exciting than what it was you're asking for. I always like to include this or something better, right? I would like this or something better. That's even more miraculous and aligned. And it creates that space for us to sometimes, where we've maybe unconsciously created a block, or not a block, but I would say maybe didn't ask for as much as we could even have, right? It kind of opens up the opportunity for more. So I love that. And savoring pleasure. So we're right back to that same vibration. I see, of course, the salt bath is right here, smelling the roses, self-care, candles, all the things that you can do to just be in that energy of self-care and self-love. Feels like that's going to keep that balance, right? And help to feed that energy. The Wastelands. And so these are actually 2 new cards. This is from the Rose Oracle from Rebecca Campbell. And I've really not barely used this deck, so this will be fun. It says the Wastelands, sustainability, slow down, and tend to your garden. So this is definitely deep into that retrograde energy, which is right in the middle of the month. So that makes sense. Create that time and space. Put it on your calendar. You're going to gain so much more time, because then the action and the effort and the steps that you actually take will yield far more than if we just are in, forcing ourselves to take action all the time on, and perhaps in a misaligned way. This is going to actually give you more results for little effort if we take the time to balance. Our human mind limits, absolutely. We got to catch it, right? We got to catch it and redirect it. All right, and the next one is We Are Nature. I love this, becoming grounded. So a lot of you that are in my Soul Success Unleashed, you know that I preach the grounding, right? Grounding and embodiment and living in connection. And so a couple of things that come to mind. First of all, just basic grounding. So if you have your meditation tools, I just think ground and be present, which is a lot of what brings that balance to that inner connection to your intuition, and also being able to reflect on perhaps what messages and divine messages are coming through, or where the misalignments are happening, so that you can realign, right? That's how we hear our intuition. But then the other thing I'm hearing is being in nature, right? That's a great way to find your alignment. It's a great way to get out of your head and into your body, and to really feel and connect with the energy of the earth, or the streams, or the sun, or whatever it is, the trees, right? Like being in nature brings our energy into present time, because the nature is always in present time, right? Our mind goes into the future, into worry or anxiety or to-dos, or into the past, reminiscing and self-punishing or replaying, or feeling like a victim or martyr to a situation. Like, both of those are not being present. And so what I'm hearing and feeling with this card is about being present and match the vibration of the earth, as a simple way to bring your energy and your mind and your focus forward. And that will actually help you, shift your energy, right? Get out of any mindset, monkey mind, that you could possibly be in if you haven't been taking the time. So let me know how that resonates. And then also, realizing that there's that full moon energy, you can sometimes take a moment to reflect, make a list of the things that you're aware of that you want to release. You can burn it, make a letter, burn it. There's many different rituals, but taking that reflective time and having it become conscious is the most important aspect. Let's see. So I'm going to work with, this is a new deck, Star Temple Oracle by Susie Cherub. I've actually never heard of her, but it really drew my attention in the store. So let's see what this has to say, what messages are coming through. And this is for the week of, 12th through 18th. Like, did I skip a week? Oh, no. Yeah, I did. No, that was 12th through 18th. That's what I thought. This is 19th through 25th. So the full moon technically is sort of in the middle of the week, what I did for week 1 and week 2, but keep on that focus. So the 19th through 25th, the full moon, the new moon, which is great for intention setting, is the 25th. So sometimes I like to make a note in my calendar of these dates, just to harness and really work with that collective energy. So let's see here. This is for the 19th through 25th. So 3 of these, and then one of the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. It's her newest deck. I've always liked her cards. Okay. And there's 2. So we got a lot of messages coming through. All right. So the first one of this is the Aquamarine Star. And I might say this incorrectly, but Tegeta. I'm assuming that this could be, I'm not sure if that's, I actually haven't looked at this deck. So that does mean probably something. So we'll just have to tune into our intuition for that, because I'm not sure what that represents. But the Aquamarine Star, expression. I express my intuition with self-confidence and love. Okay, I love this, because I don't know if you were just popping on, but in the very beginning, I was looking at the energy before we pulled out cards. And I just said there's this clarity of vision and perhaps communication. And so it feels like the first half of the month, there might be there might even be some communication mishaps, right? This is a matter of being grounded and think before you speak sometimes, right? And if something does happen, then reassess what's my part in it. Because it feels like if you do the work throughout the time, you're going to be called into speaking your truth, right? With more certainty, more confidence, more and love. And in some ways that might be sometimes saying yes to ourselves, and self-love can be saying no to somebody else, or no on the demands of our time, or creating a boundary. So that's just, for some, that's more specific. But in general, this is saying I express my intuition and with self-confidence and love. And so I just kind of felt that vibration about also speaking that with others. And I feel like that, this is also saying that, there's a level of self-trust that you're building within yourself, like you really cultivating that trust in yourself and in your intuition and the guidance that comes through, so that you can take action from that place. Because sometimes those fears and doubts want to kick in. And so it just looks like this up-leveling of trusting yourself and your intuition. And then it says the mystic, magic. I weave my magic and surrender to the universe. And I love this, because this card actually is interesting, right? Weave my magic and surrender to the universe feels very into that feminine kind of energy of receptivity again. But then when I look at her this image, she's got her eye focused on that goal. So it's like, stay focused. Stay focused. Keep your attention and your energy and your alignment and everything focused for what it is that you're wanting to create and what it is you're going for, your higher path, right? Specific, if you have a certain goal, or just in generally aligning with your higher path will get you there as well. But I just see her focus and her like commitment and that clarity and that like nothing's going to distract. And so that's where it was interesting. It was coming up about perhaps possibly boundaries or communication around really prioritizing your own time. This month is going to really serve you well. And then at the same time, but you have to be surrendered, right? But I have to surrender the outcome, the timing, the whatever. So it's like, how can you stay focused forward, but then surrendered and not attached to the how, not attached to the outcome? Sometimes timing can be something we attach to as well. So surrendered is really what's going to allow you to bring it in more quickly, as long as you keep that focus. The star mother loved. The universal mother loves and supports me totally. It's a beautiful affirmation as well. This is just allowing yourself to be loved and supported, right? Tuning in and reminding yourself that you are loved and supported. You are never alone. I do think that this feels like in your mindset, perhaps in your morning routine or in your journaling or however you like to do that. It's just like affirming that you are open, that you are received, that you're supported, that you're loved, that you are not alone. That feels like those types of, you have that support for you coming in, but we have to open to receive it and to recognize it. It feels like you have a lot of spiritual support, a lot of your angels and guides that are happy to hold that space with you and for you and are with you. But we have to allow for it. And then I also see, again, she's kind of in this rest mode. So there is this heavy, heavy call to make time for balance and rest. And then the second bloom, a second chance. It's never too late, new possibilities. So I love this. So 2 reasons, because we're, especially knowing there's a retrograde this month, sometimes when we go into something thinking it shifts or changes direction, right? Sometimes we have this idea or goal about how we want to achieve or go about something or what we even want, and then it changes, right? But it's a perfect time to change. So we do have to also be surrendered to the idea of the how and the what, for that matter, right? Just always choosing to stay aligned and to be present and illuminated with what is the best next step and the things that are going to bring you the most happy and joy. Because sometimes what we want to create really isn't necessarily what's going to bring us what we think we want, in some ways, or there might be just a different way to go about it that will be more joyous or more abundant. And so if you come across something, it just feels like you might get answers, right? So just notice what answers, what realignments, what shifts am I being guided toward, and surrender and heed that call. It looks like that will be powerful because it's giving you a chance to realign, is what it's basically saying. And it's confirming if you feel like a change in directions, or if you do feel a shift, trust that shift because it's bringing you into more alignment. And then it will also open up new possibilities. Sometimes when we let go of a certain way of a certain goal or a thing or a way that we think something's going to go or happen or be, whether it's in a relationship or whether it's in something that we're wanting to create or our business or anything, when we get too stuck on that and we start to close off to seeing other possibilities and miracles that actually have that and a whole bunch more, right? And so be open to that possibility and create the space to be present to that. Let's see. I don't know how, but I'm willing to allow. Yes, I love that, right? I don't know how, but I'm willing to allow. I love that. My friend taught me that a long time ago. And it's like, you got it. All right. So let's see. Hello from Scotland. I love Scotland. Okay. Well, I haven't been there yet, but I just feel super connected. My Gilchrist heritage is from Scotland. So I will get there hopefully in the spring. My daughter and I want to go to the UK and for a vacation over there to Ireland, Scotland, England, perhaps. I'm trying to figure out the best time. All right. So let me see here. I'm going to now try to figure out. Sometimes I'm just learning StreamYard. I've used it a couple times. Okay, so this is another deck that I haven't used much actually at all, maybe one time for myself. And it's the Archangel deck by Diana Cooper. And so we're going to be reading for the very last part of the month, which is the 26th through the 30th. Okay, and so the card is Archangel Michael. Stand in your power, be your true self. I love it. So it's like already you can kind of feel that vibe for the end is kind of like, whew, there's more certainty, even in towards the end of that last week, you're more focused, right? And so this is about just owning it, standing in your power, staking your claim, and calling on your spirit team to support you with that, right? You can buoy that faith of Archangel Michael. It's really powerful to help you, clear your fears, align with your path, and have and feel that you have that support. Because sometimes we have these big visions, or, we feel alone, or we don't have our, a lot of people that understand our spiritual path or whatever it is. And so, your spirit team is there for you, but this really does feel about you claiming and staking and standing in your sovereign power. The next one is Archangel Roquiel, which is enter higher planetary service. Be a blazing light. So this is very much a direct call to you being of service in the world, really aligning with your higher soul's path, really being that change maker that you were born to be. I know people that are attracted to me in my group are likely, identify with that, wanting to be of service in the world in some way. And we're all doing that first and foremost just by healing ourselves, right? Our spiritual awakening and our healing process and our willingness and courage to keep bettering ourselves actually has a positive impact and ripple effect on the collective. However, many of you are being called into the limelight, are being called to stand even more strong with your convictions, to put yourself out on a bigger stage, to maybe take your first step towards creating your business. We're all in different places of that, and there's no competition with that. We're all on our own path, but this is really a call to action. And it feels like, and the reason being, it's like you've hit an energetic up level too. So I'm just feeling like you've been doing a lot of inner work. And so you've been raising your vibration. And so when we step into that next level of new normal and increase our frequency in that way on our ascension path, that's kind of when that new chapter can step in, or the next level or iteration of our purpose work if you've already been in it. Thank you for spreading the love and the strength. You're so welcome. So exciting. I love it because I got this amazing community of all of us, and together we can make such a big impact, right? Archangel Mallory, remember who you are. Take action when you're ready. So this is like, you're starting to move you into action. And I love the timing of that because, right, the retrograde ends October 2nd. And this is right at the end of the month here. So this is like taking that time and space is really going to yield a lot of benefit to getting you aligned and ready and to get into motion. Let me see what else comes in. And I just actually do see a lot of this, like allowing yourself to be supported. So working with your spirit team, because I feel like sometimes, the fear or the intrepidation could come in, right? So just remember that you're not alone with that. Take 1 or 2 steps at a time, call in your spirit team, and perhaps call in maybe real world support, right? Being in communities like this, or in maybe even a mastermind, or taking a program, right? Whatever you're called to like embody yourself with the community of people that are doing what you want to be doing and moving in the direction you want to be going in. That's a huge key to keep yourself moving forward and to not get stuck in your head or stuck in stagnancy, right? It's when we start to get into isolation that we can feel that way. So part of that card, I feel like in order to really remember who you are and take action from that space, is about surrounding yourself also with the people that are going in the direction you are as well. Hey there, got a bit late. No worries. The replay will be up so you guys can check it out. And I'm glad you're here. After the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. So maybe the retrograde could be rough for some. I don't know. I think it's going to be both. I think I've heard, lots of astrologers speak about it in different ways, and we're all in different places. But I think the key is that knowing that no matter what happens, everything, especially when things hit the fan, if they do, right, all we can do is pause and reassess and use it as a learning tool. So if something happened, perhaps there's a silver lining, or I would say look for the silver lining, because there's always an opportunity of growth. If we are conscious creators, that we all are, right? We have to be responsible for the things we love and the things we don't love. And when we do that, we actually have more power to change and create what we want. And so it doesn't mean that we accept terrible or unhealthy behavior, of course, but what is our part within it? Why have I been standing for it? If that's the case, or what is the blessing? Sometimes people might have a shift in a job, go a different way. And it's like, oh, silver lining is you got actually somebody else that appreciates you more, right? You're making more money. So it could be many different things, but basically after this, spending that time just reflecting on acceptance of what is the opportunity of growth here, right? What is it that I can do now with this information, and how can I, shift or change perhaps the actions I might be taking, or how can I take the benefit from this? So just keep that in mind. That final card kind of popped out. I feel like if you had a rough time of it, if things kind of hit the fan or caught you off guard, getting to that space of, well, what is the silver lining? What is this opportunity of growth? Because anytime we hit something like that, it's an amazing catalyst for healing. It's an amazing catalyst for opening up. And we can always realign to what it is that we want at any moment and any time. So keep your eyes out for that as well. So this deck right here, I'm using, this is the Rose Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. So it's a brand new, at least pretty new deck, like in the last month or so, for Rebecca Campbell, which I really love. Here's the actual, at least half of the box. That's the last cards that I was using. So awesome. All right, everyone. I do have a free gift if you'd like. Let's see if you haven't gotten this, the energy of 2022. I actually went through and did a month, like a whole year of 2022. And I did, so I can share that with you if you are interested in that. It's free. I'm wondering if this posts, let me know if this posts, because I'm actually on StreamYard on that. I think I might have to go to my Facebook. Let's see. Oh, Norma Jean. Hello. It's been so long. I was just thinking about you actually yesterday. Uh, okay. So check that out. That's like a monthly breakdown if you want. I know we're 3/4 of the way through the year, but we still have another quarter left. Sometimes I think it can make sense, or you can fast forward 3/4 of the way through the video and get yourself to the September, to the end of the quarter. But I remember when I did this reading for the year, it was kind of nice to see that overview. And I feel like we ended strong with the possibilities. And so we have one quarter left. I put that in there in the chat if you'd like to check it out and enjoy that. Otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Next week, we actually do have some great fun things. I have a special guest I'm going to be bringing in to talk about the energetics of wealth, which will be fun. I have my monthly workshop usually. Let's see, that will be going on a flash sale on next Tuesday through Thursday. And that is around Archangel Raziel. And there's a whole activation around trusting and activating your intuition. So keep your eyes peeled on the group. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming in. And other than that, that's it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a fun weekend, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.